Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another wonderful day of Valorant Challengers North America. Fun day yesterday, and hopefully a little bit more on the horizon. My name is Sierra Dawn, joined here today by Dan, yet again. Hello, Dan, as well as Roy. Roy, how are you doing today? I saw that you were doing a watch party yesterday. How did you join the
Of
matches?
course, of course. I love the matches. I think we're off to a pretty good start in the league. I mean, we were kind of seeing a little bit of everything. We're seeing women, we're seeing underdogs, we're seeing overdogs, we're seeing like reformed of orgs. We're seeing so many exciting things happening here in the league. You have to be excited.
We do love women. We do love women. Dan, another great day. Challengers ahead. How are you feeling today?
Play on the main broadcast yesterday. I'm not gonna forget it. 520 ACS, 399 ACS. I don't know what teams are gonna do, but they need to keep the same numbers today.
Yeah, considering that was the very first day of challengers and being able to see people pop off in the way that they did, crazy stuff. And with us still kind of discovering a lot about some of these players and some of these teams, I'm excited to dive into today. Of course, looking at the teams that we have here in challengers and how things shook up yesterday, we'll bring up our bracket. Of course, we just got to broadcast two matches on our mainstream. The other two, thank you to all the wonderful watch parties that were covering them. It's going to be TSM, Burger Boys, Trust and Plug, and Rankers Roy to be starting off our first day with some dubs.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, shout out to TSM as well because they looked amazing in their debut. I think a lot of these orgs are sort of getting criticism for like taking risk on these like sort of this new talent, right? And there's like, oh, are you guys trying to win? There's so many levels of criticism, but I think they're starting to show that like maybe they're onto something with the way they looked yesterday, and not even just them, but as well as Plug and as well as Rankers. Like all these players are sort of starting to pop off, and like the skill ceiling is really starting to form here in the first day.
Yeah, I love the fact that we got to see right from the get-go. Because, I mean, the first day, especially with the amounts of moves that were made in the off season, if it kind of took a week for everything to get settled, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised. But
Hmm.
already there's a lot of people that we need to be keeping our eyes out for. And we're going to have four wonderful matches ahead. Of course, two are going to be covered on this broadcast, the others with all of the watch parties. So keep both tabs open, watch them all. It's going to be a great time for today. But as for us, I mean, we're talking about things changing and stuff, and we're going to get to see that right off the bat with this first matchup. It's going to be M80 going up against MORI, which this is an exciting one for two reasons. First off, M80, such a storied name in our challenger scene, but this is a whole new look. As for MORI, when we're looking at all these different paths that you can make it to challengers, try your path to pro, this is one of our premier teams that qualified. So exciting stuff. But first off, Dan, it's M80. This is not the M80 that we followed for the last 2 years.
It's crazy because we saw them not really making it through Ascension. They got eliminated. They didn't make it to that VCT tier 1, and then we thought that was gonna be it. We didn't know what was gonna happen. A couple of the players went everywhere. I mean, we have some of the players in VCT America, some of VCT EMEA, even the coach. So they build a completely new team, which is the one that we're looking at right now. And technically, this is not the full team, right? But this is the roster that is gonna be playing today, and it's some names that we've known
this is
for a little bit before.
Sorry, my internet's going crazy yet again. It's a crazy time up here in small time Canada, but yeah, a little swapperoo, but should be exciting. And when we're looking at, we'll talk about the new parts of the team in a minute, and a new part of the team, but not necessarily a new player to challengers from M80. We got to talk about B-Dog first. I mean, Roy, B-Dog is someone that we've got to talk about a lot in these past iterations of challengers on Turtle Troop, a team that we got to see a lot from. So seeing him come over to this roster and see maybe this transformation of all these players and how they come together, I'm super excited for this.
Yeah, honestly, I think I am as well because I mean he's been at the top almost all of last year. Like they were completely at the top. It was really until playoffs and Ascensions that they sort of started struggling, right? But up until then, this team was considered an overdog team, Turtle Troops, that is. But now you're seeing players like B-Dog and We Did that are sort of combining with players like Okeanos and Bao, and it's like you're sort of creating this sort of dynamic where you have like very experienced coaches with Psycho and Drew Spark, and then you have this sort of like upcoming talent combined with like sort of these like veteran players in tier 2, but these are all still young, very capable players. They're very talented, and the skill ceiling is just very unknown right now, and we don't really know what to expect. Is this team going to be popping off to some level that we none of us could have foreseen, or is this team just going to be like an average team in challenges? Is really hard to say right now. But yeah, B-Dog, great player. He's very flexible. He's able to play so many different roles as well, which makes him an extremely valuable player to this kind of team.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking at when we are seeing a couple of these newer players to this tier 2 level. I am looking at players like B-Dog to really be able to step up and provide that sort of direction for the team. Whether it's a role you want or not, B-Dog, I don't know. But definitely when we've gotten to see what he was able to do with Turtle Troop Dan, I think he's more than capable of being able to help out a couple of these other players while also be able to perform for himself.
Yeah, I like that you bring up the roles as well, because we've seen B-Dog throughout play a bunch of different things. I mean, we used to see him sometimes on the jet and be like, okay,
Yep.
what is going on? Then going a little bit more into that Brimstone that I remember so well.
Yeah.
And now he's playing in that Breach. So he's been going across and he's been playing all these different roles. And he's always doing it to such a high level. I want to see a little bit more of that Breach. I want to see a little bit more of that Initiator. But if he brings back the jet, the Brimstone, you know, I'm not mad.
Whatever iteration today, I'm like, it'll be interesting with how the team is today, considering that we are seeing Sato not playing today, and then of course Vita coming back. So it'll be a little snippet of the team, but maybe not a full picture. But it should be exciting nonetheless. And of course, we got to talk about the other side. And when we talk about unknown quantities, this is maybe one of the biggest unknown quantities that we have here, Roy. MORI. This is a team that qualified through Premier. Huge congratulations to them, because there's a lot of talented players out there, but we just don't know too much about them as of this moment. This is going to be a big opportunity today to show us and all of Challengers what they got.
I mean, this is what we're trying to build, right? The sort of pathway where these players that can literally come from ranked are able to qualify into tier 2, and they're able to sort of display themselves and sort of set the tone to be the upcoming stars that could potentially take over VCT in tier 1 within the next couple of years.
This is everybody's friend group's dreams. Like, this is what everybody wants to happen. You just make a team. Hey, everybody's kind of good, and you make it all the way to Challengers. It's cool that we have these names that we don't know so well, because it gives you just more opportunities to first get to know them and see how far they can make it. I mean, already making it to Challengers is not easy at all. We have a lot of well-known teams, well-known players that have played since the beta, pretty much, trying to stay in Challengers and struggling to do so. So when you have all of these new players coming up, it's a question of, okay, what level are they going to show us? How much are they going to improve? How much support are they getting around them as well?
You're not kidding whatsoever about this is every friend group stream. Every time they see me on Challengers, I have a friend that @s me in Discord and is like, I'm going to qualify through Premier. Like, that is what they've been working towards. Wish them the best of luck, by the way, because that would be absolutely so sick. But to see that this was a group of people that were able to come up through that path is absolutely amazing. And we do have a little bit of stats from the players, so we can start to get a little acquainted with them. First up, we have to talk about Bowie. So again, we didn't necessarily get to see what they're made of, but like, my first impressions of this, Roy, is like, all right, Bowie, pretty okay, pretty good.
Yeah, just a casual 1.2 KD, 234 ACS. You know, just something slight for the boy. Like, yeah, that is so insane. These are amazing stats. And again, I think the unknown quantity that this team brings to the table is what makes this league so interesting, because we really don't know what to expect. Like, yeah, you could have good stats, but you could also be playing, you know, against players that are very bad. But like, this could also translate very well in this league, where like these kids don't really have much to lose. Like, Kaiser is another player that's on this team, right? He's 16 years old. Like, these players are so fresh to the competitive circuit. They're so fresh to the league. They have so much to gain and so little to lose. And I think that's going to be sort of their superpower.
I mean, you were talking about Kaiser 2 to us beforehand, someone who's, I mean, for years has been kind of looking at this, right? Like, that's so cool now. He's in tier 2.
Yeah, okay, so just a heads up. I've known Kaiser since he was like 14 years old. He used to message me on Twitter like, "Strong legs, follow me on Twitter."
That's what he sounded like, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually a voice recording. That wasn't even me, to be honest. But yeah, like, and then I was like, "Listen, you qualify for tier 2, I will follow you back on Twitter." And then he messaged me not even a week ago saying, "Strong legs." He posted me the team page. He says, "I'm in tier 2. I'm in tier 2. Follow me back." And I was like, "All right, you earned it. Let's go." That's just like, that's amazing. That is so crazy.
And now you get to sit here and talk about this game after. So that's, I don't know, cool little circle. So I'm excited to see what he's got.
Me
But
too.
another person of the team that we got to be looking out for, we got to see a lot of star duelists yesterday, and we got to talk about Demi, who we believe is the duelist of this team and the numbers that he's been able to be putting up so far. Dan, we've been going crazy about ACSs. It isn't a 520, but still pretty good.
Okay, this one doesn't count. What counted is what he's going to be able to do today. That's what I want to see. And I think it's really cool because Demi has been playing a lot of Neon as well. Has been playing pretty much every duelist that you can ask. And that is something that we're seeing more and more in Valorant. The duelists that are not only just a jet one trick, a race one trick, but they're able to play at least 3 of those duelists roll to perfection. So Demi, it seems like he's one of them, and also is really good on the Neon. I wish the picture was the Neon as well, because he's been playing out a lot more, and I want to see if they're gonna be running with this Neon meta. We've seen it for example, 100 Thieves, the team that were able to find that comfort in the Neon and make it work around a few of the maps. And it's in a meta right now where you can take advantage of that. You can take even advantage of the tempos of what Tejo is doing, how slow his utility is, and then just run it down, have some good synergy with the team, and see if they can make it work that way.
I'd be excited to see that. I'm just excited to see this team in general, and of course, expectations. I'm hoping that this team can leave quite a good impression today up against some players that have been in this challenger scene and really been putting up a fight. And for M80, I mean, this is the rebuild of the roster. This is the first look at what they're trying to build for today, and if they can go for Ascension 3rd year in a row. But getting underway with the series today before Roy's Cat hijacks the stream over here are map picks and bans. We got to see some fun ones yesterday. Kicking off this series, Hakiki Mori, Dan, they're going to be taking us to Split.
First map being Split, one that we haven't seen just yet on the main broadcast. So this is one of those maps where I'm like, okay, people have been innovating a little bit. We've seen the Chamber getting played, but how much do you want to innovate, and where's the meta gonna settle? That's one of the things that I'm gonna be looking for and what they're gonna be running here. But I like the Lotus and the Fracture. I talked about the Neon coming through for Demi. Those are some of the maps where you can play that Neon.
When I'm just laughing looking at this M80 Lotus, because of course this is a different roster, but I just get flashbacks of the old
to the
M80
triple
roster.
Senti comp.
Yeah, like some of the crazy comebacks they had, and sometimes like these crazy clutches Niswa had on Lotus. I don't know. I feel like Lotus has been such a storied map for them, Roy. So that'll be fun.
No, it's really interesting that you bring that up as a point, because I've actually been having the same thoughts. Is M80 going to be taking pages from their previous strat book, or are they going to be making a whole new book with new players to like fit a new style of, obviously every team dynamic is completely unique. It's sort of hard to copy paste strategy and copy paste certain things that might have worked for previous iterations of this roster, right? So it's like, what style are they going to be adopting, especially when we're headed so heavily into like a Breach Tejo meta and like just like ultra utility compositions? Like, are they going to be playing into that? Are they going to be playing into their old playbook? Like, what is really happening within the realm of M80 here?
I mean, seeing the players, I feel like we're going to keep with that M80 firepower that we know and love, which should be fun. So using that as an opportunity to talk about our predictions with these players and what we've gotten to see out of them so far, even if this is a new roster. I know that I had to say for predictions that I thought that M80 was going to be taking this series, and I don't know. I feel like I'm not going to be alone in this one, Dan. I feel like we just don't have enough on Hakiki Mori at this moment, and yeah, that's a clean sweep.
The unanimous curse. No.
We're not. We don't have that power, guys. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I think M80 are okay. If M80 lose this match, they like it's. I want to say it's almost impossible for it to happen, but maybe I'm jinxing it a little bit more.
Really?
M80,
not even 10% chance?
It's fine. Look, don't worry about it. M80, they're the favorites. And yeah, we're talking a lot more about what Demi is able to do, what the individual players on the other side are able to do. But when you have such a strong roster, even when you were bringing that one change for today, at least of we did playing, you should be the favorite, and you also should be showing why you are the favorite.
Yeah, I mean, you have Weeded as a sub. Like, if that's not a super sub, I don't know what is. Like, oh no, we have to play with Weeded, one of the top statted players from last year. Like, how terrible! Like, like he's just insane. So I think they're completely fine on that end. But to me, I don't sleep on the like the team that has zero org pressure and like zero like pressure to perform and like sort of these like level of expectations. I think there is a psychological benefit to being such a deep underdog like Hakiki Mori is, and I think they could surprise us. We really don't know what to expect, so I'm always leaving 10 to 20% chance room for error that maybe we're all wrong and this team is super cracked and they're the future.
Yeah.
They might be. They very well might be. So hopefully we'll get to see if they are heading into our series now. Split our first map. And for our agents, let's bring up the agent select to see. I mean, Dan, you were talking about this squad of Mori and this duelist, the fact that we kind of highlighted that Raze, he's had some strong neon. I'm looking for a strong performance today, but we're going to see the double duelist. Okay.
Yes. I actually, every time I see a double duelist, even if it's not the greatest, I'm happy. But I like the Yoru. I like what they bring here. They're still running with that Cypher, with the Breach. And then on the other side, we have this modern composition that we're looking at a lot more. Like you were saying, Roy, is that Breach and that Teho being played.
Yeah, with the Astra as well, it just adds so much global presence and so much global utility, and it's so many layers of map control that are available to them as well, which makes it a very dynamic composition with a lot of both offensive and defensive power.
Well, this is going to be the first look at both of these teams, the new roster rebuild for M80 and that pass the pro through Premier for Mori. It's time to head over to our split. First looks at them, and that's going to be with your casters, Uber and Wyatt.
Thank you very much, Sierra and co. What an interesting game. We have an M80 team, obviously featuring B-Dog, who's been very busy, Wyatt. You know, just casually went out to the Riot Games arena, slapped down 2G in chat, you know, VCT, come back down now, of course, to join up with this team, this M80 roster that have reformed again with the goal, as always, to ascend, going up against the team Mori, as far as we know, with one of their first officials now on the docket.
Surely the third time will be the charm for M80, Mitch. They've tried multiple years in a row, have barely come up short in some pretty tragic fashion, but entirely new roster, as you mentioned. That is the biggest difference. How good will they be compared to a team that had EU, John Cutie in the past? Like, they just, you know, Xander just moved up to 100 Thieves as well. Nismo still playing in Challengers, has always been one of the top players. They have had the known best of the tier 2 scene, but have gone for a different approach this year with, you know, Bao, also famed player from Trust and Plug that beat 100 Thieves in the offseason.
Famed player from Fame's team. Yep.
We'll never stop calling back to that. But we'll have to see. It's cool to see M80 going for a different strategy as far as the roster building this year, but will it pay off?
Okeanos as well. On Blinn, looked like a young rising star last year in Challengers. Arbo has to get off the site pretty quickly. That fault line is going to be a bit of an issue. B-Dog, though, gets snarled up in the midst of it. Okeanos drops here, goes low. Paint Shell's problematic. C&Q at least able to find some progress here for the defenders. Now it's a retake scenario with Weedid and Barn Bao having to try and salvage, and this is pretty straightforward on a crossfire. So how Garpa falls there. It's going to be out to Weedid. Oh, the boy's back. He's so back, baby. Nicely done. Little Cacciarino for a pistol round of M80.
Nice little adjustment with the classic. Always nice when you get it in that fully automatic mode, when you can just left click, right click. Very nice from the super sub dubbed by Roy on the desk, and you do have to call him that. I mean, we did last year with Turtle Troop. For a lot of the season, would definitely, at least for me, say that he was the best player on that team. And it was just due to the unfortunate circumstances with his health that he had to take a back seat, but was in phenomenal form. It's really exciting to see him back this year.
And a great start already on that Teho. We're going to be watching very closely to see how M80 look to derive value from it. We see a lot of like aggressive usual use on that A side of the map, taking control, much like this. Very similar to how we saw it in VCT Americas. That will obviously allow M80 to exercise some influence over that far extremity of the map and narrow down the odds here for Mori.
It's just a push-up from Caillou, the IGL of this team, actually. You know, maybe you would look at one of the players with a bit more experience on the top end of Challengers to be doing that, but no, it is the new blood in the team that is controlling the game plans, and that is cool to see him in. For the scenes to thrive, or, you know, you always end up needing a new crop of IGLs. Who's going to replace Finesse when he's gone, Mitch? That's the question.
That's it. I do like that. M80, yeah, a change of tact, right? Going for like the real young, unproven roster, primarily at least. And Mori actually heading back over to the A side of the map here. Oh, I see. Yeah. Perhaps they were looking at recovering that weapon of Ghost and maybe worried about someone camping there. Unclear if that was actually anything worth getting, but either way, heading over towards the A site now. I see the gate crash also used. That will allow Brain, God help me, to get into the backside, and he does. He's on the plant, but Okeano's going to catch him out, and there's no support. The rest of Hikiko Mori are stuck in A main.
A lot of kills for the aforementioned IGL, really close to the Rolling Thunder. Probably won't have it in this bonus, but listen, I suppose it's a situation where it could come up if he finds a kill, maybe grabs an orb, right? I'll have to see. This is important for Hikikimori, the, definite severe underdog in this game. The team coming up from the premier qualifying system. This could have been you and your friends, chatter, in the Twitch chat. This could be you next year. Going up against M80 in the first round, a perennial favorite.
Again, this is a Swiss competition this year in Challengers, so teams are playing other teams with the same record or near enough. We might get paired up or paired down depending. So we're going to find that like the competition for Hikikimori starts to become a little bit more, I guess, balanced to some of those other teams that are struggling to find wins they might run into. If, of course, let's assume they don't win here. Too early to call. They looked pretty decent in that pistol. They had a big advantage that last round. Not very inspiring, but here through mid, they're going to be slowed down by that Nebula setup. And Arbo wants to peer a little bit closer towards ropes. But ultimately, they are going to have to walk up through this util. So it's a dark cover to the left, allowing them to go over towards drop.
Yeah, there is a timing window right now that they can get past with the fault line and guided salvos not being currently available. So have to wait a little bit longer for M80 to get those recycled, have them for some kind of retake situation, perhaps.
Have on control established here. Pulling out pretty slowly in that dark cover there, just splitting up the defenders somewhat.
30 seconds left.
Okay, trips are on the side here. Surely we're going to see someone caught in those. Bao has just tucked himself into elbow now. Kaiser back on the side. It should allow for a plant here. It looks like Hikikimori did get caught by that trap as they crossed. No ability to play off it now, as an aftershock is going to go straight at the planter's location. Kaiser's going to lock it down. Only able to find the one, and it's up to Ghost. Off the side, and Weeded cleans him up.
What a shot from Weeded at the end. Good utility from M80. Coming back in there, though. That grab well into the aftershock put Garpa in a really awkward situation, forced him to have to go towards elbow, where Bao was just chilling with the Bucky. Easy free kill, easy upgrade in the weaponry for the two remaining players. Weeded close to that Armageddon. Tough round for Hikikimori to lose early on.
I think also, like, there's going to be an element of them needing to get used to playing this breach Teo composition, or playing against it rather. That aftershock on the plant location, this one here, really messed them up. You see how Kaiser had to lock it down as much as possible by screens, and we did with a clean finisher.
At least with that Yoru raise, they should have some ability to try and get past a lot of that utility that would be launched into a choke point at some points, but regardless, it's difficult. Teo's a pretty good agent, I've heard, and Ghost just died somewhere for free with a fault line missile.
He
Classic.
crashed into ropes, I think. At that point, Okeanos is just essentially waiting for him. Elsewhere, Ghost dies to the Teho util on that A extremity, just can't get out of it in time. Might have been caught in a fault line and then subjected to the guided salvo wire. Either way, it's a pretty gross combination of util. Not much to really write home about here in this round for Hikikimori, is they don't have any weaponry to speak of, but yeah, really getting shut down by some pretty fundamental stuff from M80.
Yeah, they try and scramble into the B site at the end, but ultimately they just have stingers, and M80 are playing long range, holding the angles, getting the freest imaginable kills. And yeah, that definitely looked like it was a fault line into the missiles. Little combo over towards A main. Have to be super weary about that. It's really common to try and pick off that one extremity player, typically having the Cypher there. Ah, perfect. The drilling has begun again.
The drilling.
I'm not sure if that's transmitting yet again, but there's some renovations under me.
Yeah, it just feels like we're doing an event in Brazil. Like, don't worry about it too much. That's fine. We did this out by screens. I mean, this is just a little too slow from Hikikimori. They are grouped up over towards that A main, but M80 just having to peer in. They're literally just swinging these corners and plucking players from the attacker squad out of the round.
Yes, here we go. Keep going, Mitch. I've been subjected to the sounds of apartment renovation below me since 7 a.m. both today and yesterday. Not ideal. Not ideal.
I just think it sounds like a bad cello player, honestly. Like it's not the end of the world, really. Weedy there. I'm gonna walk away with 3 kills in that round. And why, if there was a game where you were to be subjected to this, then allow it to be this one. That is fine. Hakiki MORI there, another gun round falling flat, and much of it is just the anchoring.
I mean, yeah, luckily they're renovating this before one of the Ascension finals this year, October. So around then. Yeah, luckily this wasn't happening during a 2G M80 last year.
That would be really unfortunate. Why? Yeah.
Oh my god, man. All right, anyway, it's over. Surely they won't start drilling again. And we focus.
Look, it would be fine if it didn't sound like a herd of cattle. You know, it would be easy to shrug off, I think. But,
I also appreciate that they chose to work on the room directly below my little office here. Oh my god. All right, anti-eco. Let's stabilize here. Okeanos, he's making it look easy. He was really good last year as well, over with Blinn Esports when they qualified into Challengers halfway through the year in the
look, White,
relegation.
He made it onto the chat list, so you know he's a big deal.
Oh, he did? Wow.
Yeah, the chat list, yeah. He tweeted out a bunch of obviously tier 2 players he thought that should be highlighted. Okeanos is absolutely one of them for a darn good reason. We got to see them a bit last year as well. We were quite impressed, even if Blinn had their struggles coming into the year halfway through, obviously through that promotion relegation, and yeah, I enjoyed them. I thought they were great.
The Blinn were a pretty solid team, but you could definitely tell that, you know, at times for a player of Okeanos' caliber, man, if he was inserted into a roster with more experienced, supportive players, then, you know, he could shine even more. Maybe this is going to be the opportunity for him to do so, though. Not really sure exactly how the roles are going to work out when Sato returns. We'll have to see. Oki has been playing for ages, though, and he definitely has a large agent pool, so might not always be on the duelist, maybe flex to it sometimes. We'll have to see, but listen, if he's on it full time, I think he's definitely going to pop off this year.
Absolutely. Yeah, Oki's played a bunch of stuff. I mean, I played a bunch of Chamber when that was, when that was relevant. He's also starting to come back, into contention a little bit more recently. Pretty standard walk up here, folks. Okeanos just getting tucked in that corner and Hakiki MORI losing much of this map control. There's M80 for good reason, brimming with confidence here, but also sitting on a lot of these really powerful retake ultimates. So should they actually want to give some space, they'll be able to retake it with a degree of confidence.
Rolling Thunder available. Abo one away from getting the showstopper online for this round as well. So opportunities for Hakiki MORI to get onto the board. It's been so difficult to work through the oppressive utility that M80 have. I just at this point still believe you got to be running that Teo, man, or you're at a disadvantage. Okeanos rocket actually whips, goes a bit right. He's caught alone. Lovely satchel
so
though.
good.
Oh, come on.
He's just flattened him. That was absolutely clowning. Beautiful work there with the blast pack to obviously knock Kaiser's aim astray. 3 kills in the end for Okeanos. Talk about damage done. Make it 4 for the round, and oh boy, this is a baptism of fire for Hakiki MORI, and that is not an understatement, folks. Coming out of Premier. Now, in fairness, it's not their first technically official. They actually played under Astana Anarchy, and they tried to qualify for stage 3 of Challengers last year. They fell out in the round of 64, but this is definitely their harshest competition yet.
It's tough to go up against M80 in round 1. I love how Okeanos plays that in B main, using the utility to isolate the fights. That's really cool. Little satchel for the bounce back, while the other player, the Cypher, was pushed away because of the rocket.
So not much here to work with in a round like this. Stingers and Sheriffs for Hakiki MORI, and B-Dog doesn't want any of it. Thinking throw out the grab well pretty much straight away. Arvo takes a bunch of damage coming in though. The paint shells from up above, you have to assume, found their mark. But there, but a Ferrari peaked that one pretty comfortably with the stinger, but Van Bao has it locked from Rafters. 3 kills for the Cypher. And will be there to clean things up. And we're looking at a genuine possibility of a 12-0 half.
Unfortunately, the weaponry just isn't there. Sometimes you can get a cheeky little kill with the stinger like that, just kind of rounding the corner quickly. And if you get the dink and the hit punch onto the guy with the, with the rifle, you can get a kill in a situation like that. But yeah, unfortunately, again, it's just M80 flooding in quickly, playing at range with the rifles, cleaning things up so easily. They are rolling, and when you have Weeded and Okeanos both shooting, dangerous squad.
Ghost up to CQ there. Setting up some of that breach util, or maybe just preparing for a faster hit through A side. We haven't seen that from Hikikomori for a while because of that Teho breach combination on the A side. It's definitely made them weary. There's a camera.
I must wait.
Brain, there we go. Cleared out. Aldo sees a lot. Sees obviously the Yoru is trying to sneak up, but I don't think that Brain is going to have the opportunity to go for some sort of offensive gate crash forward. He's only on light armor as well. Okeanos takes a hit. Backs out of there very quickly. Nice use of the blast pack to avoid the fault line that would have potentially threatened to catch him.
Yeah, a dangerous peak, honestly. I mean, he's certainly feeling confident. Is he just going to swing this as well off an intuitive timing, take another duel? It looks like he wants to, and he's punished for it. He's getting a little ahead of himself. Obviously, they are up 8-0, but listen, once you start to get too confident, that's where you can be exploited. That's where the mistakes will be found for Hikikomori.
Isaac gets in the backside here straight away, but will be spotted out by the stealth drone. Weeded, though, may not be aware just how close they are towards them. Oh, it doesn't matter. Kaiser tries to come in with the shorty. It's not enough. Weeded is going to be an issue. Tucked in the elbow, yet to be cleared. Brain is able to get onto the site now and at least threaten a plant. And Weeded swings straight into his crosshair. It's up to B-Dog. His player profile, by the way, does nothing to show just how tall this guy is. He's ridiculous. He's massive. See if he can
like
replicate that stature in the server.
I thought the image was photoshopped when I saw the Furia lineup.
No, yeah, he's just massive. Also, the rest of Furia were kind of short. Offense, guys.
Stellar's 6 foot. That's not too short.
Stellar's 6 foot, really?
Yeah, I think so.
So B-Dog is just that tall.
Something like that. Yeah, he's just that tall. He's
He's
going
like
to replace Embiid on the Sixers because he's injured again. They need him, man. B-Dog is he's kind of chilling right now in the server. Hasn't had to do a whole lot. Most of the time when you're playing Astra on this map on defense B, your job is to not die and just run away and wait for your teammates to come in to help you. Playing like pretty passive most of the time when you're that solo anchor. I mean, cool to see him on a different role though. Again, he is super flexible.
Let's not let Hikikomori's first round in Challengers just go by unmentioned, by the way. There's M80. In fairness, Okeanos really active around the map, but swinging into a lot of held lines.
Bro.
The Vuvuzelas are back, folks.
Yeah. Hey, just some excitement for Hikikomori getting their first round on the board.
I think the best part is you just can't fight through it. Like, it just throws you off every single time, brother. We've got to get you ready for that real, stadium feel, brother. This is great training. Rolling Thunder catches one. It looks like a gate crash out there by Brain, but Avo actually I like this, pulls out the showstopper to dissuade any follow-up on that. No one, obviously, to connect with it, but still, map control ultimately goes over to Hikikomori, despite them having suffered a Rolling Thunder from the defenders. So they got mid. Dimensional Drift gets Brain also into Heaven now to check and clear that out. There's no presence whatsoever, but a decent amount of util from Bao on this A side.
Yeah, just keep going, man.
Okay.
just keep going. I'm staying muted for a moment here.
Okay, no worries.
He's really going off down there.
30 seconds.
Garper and Kaiser have crossed to the site, and there is one trap wire left up, but it's closer to Bao. Tough to play off that. How do M80 get back in? They do have a Cosmic Divide. No corpses, of course, to feed to a neural theft right now, so it will have to be the old-fashioned way. They don't really have ramp control. We did this threatening some Heaven control. He's gotten there with B-Dog for the time being. Here is that Cosmic Divide now. Now they don't have to worry so much about ramp. Kaiser, though, dealing with some pressure on the side. It's an aftershock that catches him out in the end. Brain, Zach here in elbow, able to win things out with the shorty, and it's up to B-Dog, who has, that's why I put it, been straight chilling in the server up to this point, but he knows where Avo is. He knows he drops down and finishes the job. And he's got plenty of time to go for a defuse. M80 back to their winning ways in this first half.
Unfortunate. That was so close for Hikikomori. B-Dog,
Gun here.
a little bit too good. Real opportunity, especially when it's to drop down. And maybe I could go see. I can go find out what the construction guys think about this game if we need their take as well. Walk downstairs.
Cross over to the apartment below you and get there.
get their take. Oh my god. Do you guys think that Sato will they be better than we did in this roster, or what? What do you guys think?
Much to say. That's interesting. You know, they've been very vocal up until this point, Wyatt, but yeah, perhaps he's just stumped them with that question. Either way, he's a push up and course over on that A side. So this is what the Teo comp is always threatening to do. Obviously backed up with fault line or sometimes just great aim. Okeanos gets off. He's got free there. 10 health left to work with. It's up to Garpa. Now, guts it.
M80 are playing this like it's a little bit of warm-up in aim labs, if I'm being honest. We did is just so confident. A little bit of supporting utility from IGL Caillou, but mostly just more confident in the aim than anything, ready to take the duels.
Oh, man. So the first kill, obviously, is backed up with the fault line. The rest, though, Weedy just hangs around and says, I think I'll win. I think I'll win. Again, it is a anti-eco play, but M80 not really playing the traditional anti-eco style into it in terms of giving space and holding crossfires. They just take the fight to win them out. Still, of course, sitting on that Armageddon, Weedy has not had to use that, I think, at all this half. He is dominating the server.
M80 again, just going back to this three-man setup in mid, playing 2 male, 1 vent, B-Dog passive on B. They found a lot of success locking down mid here. And if Hikikomori go exploring, they might get boomed.
Timing not quite there for Okeanos. Check. Sewer catches that Arbo. Knows as well there's going to be pressure from the right side. Flashpoint, though, is going to get them in. Brain, though, cops the flash from the top. A minute with Kiyu, I think. Here's that Armageddon coming on through. Garpa has absolutely nowhere to go. I think there was a special delivery as well from We Did, just to make things even harder for the breach. Ghost will be revealed. Inside sewer and oh, buddy, there is a large amount of ordnance being leveraged here. Ghost gonna try and hold it. Down, my guy! Gets the 3K. The round is still online. 4 points of health left, and B-Dog is on the chase, but Ghost is giving his team a chance.
B-Dog can hear the rotate right now. Doesn't really matter. Gets the spike, should be able to get into B on time. B-Dog to the position. All right, Ghost is going to get there. 17 seconds left in the round. Going to make a plant happen. B-Dog has all 2 of his stars to work with, and Ghost is just too low. Backs away, and B-Dog puts him down. And Glimmer of Hope snuffed out on this first half as M80 win themselves 11 of those 12 rounds. That's a shame. They at least could have had one for the highlight reel. They could have at least had one little Twitter post with the voice comms there.
You just clip that and fade to black after the 3K. Don't worry about how the rest of the round went. Don't worry about it.
No, you can put it in the middle of the montage, but it can't be a solo clip.
Yeah, true.
You can throw that in at like, I don't know, 54 seconds, quick little clip.
Yeah, like
transfer, and keep it moving.
Yeah, as soon as you get to the Bridge of Numb by Linkin Park, I think that's when that clip goes in. Not too shabby. Nice little spray down.
I could always bring back Let the Bodies Hit the Floor.
Oh, that would be
classic.
That's crazy. Damn, dude. Those are the days. Second half of a split coming at you, folks. Hikikomori's first game in Challengers and their first official as this roster. It has, I'll give it to you straight, folks, been a stinker. It's been brutal. M80 really seem to have them covered in every aspect of the game. But in fairness, M80 are vastly more experienced. Players that have been around for quite some time, even in various Tier 2, Tier 3 teams. So this is honestly an important experience for Hikikomori to gain.
That really is the key, right? I mean, this M80 team is just... They've got a ton of individual skill, a ton of matches under their belt against a team that's just getting into Challengers for the first time.
Oh dear. Nicely done for Arbo. I'm going to wrap all the way through, catch Okeanos out in mid. Still, though, most of the action is over the A side of the map here. Brain has his punctured by Weeded set up there in heaven, and it's just going to be Ghost very, very low stat and screens
Spike
here.
planted.
Ooh, okay, that's a lot of util to clear that part of the map. And now the post-plant M80 have the enviable position of having screens completely under their control.
Little Nate here could do some big damage if Abba tries to clear the corner.
It'll be extremely based. Well, sometimes you just straight face check those. Kaiser drops down here. We did very low. Still able to win it out. Man, the guy's got plot armor. 4K for We Did on the pistol and M80 on map point.
He really was just running about the map with no regard for what happened to his own life. I think he just pushed straight through a smoke in heaven alone. That's when he won the duel against Brain, and then just continues to run around. Yeah, let's just go fight screens, couple missiles, clear out ghosts.
MORI
Sure, cool.
Just realized they have the timeout function available to them here. So I guess this is as good a time as any to make use of it when you are trying to not lose the game. Is this Ambrosia and a Qubit Academy game? Ambrosia looking pretty good on Pearl so far. We had some, I would say, pretty high hopes for this Qubit Academy squad. You know, Redux on this team, Nismo, Scuba, T-Dog. I really know names, but they are having some issues against this Ambrosia team who, you know, I would not say have like the most known names. Screwface is on this roster for those that sort of may know them. And they made it to the quarterfinals recently of one of the HyperX off-season tournaments, the Fun Have a HyperX Momentum series. So they've at least started to make a name for themselves. So we'll see how that Qubit Academy attack side pans out.
Also, Rob Moore said on Twitter that we were all sleeping on Ambrosia in the prediction graphic that was posted. So he's aware of something that we are not. I am not a dedicated Ambrosia watcher like Mr. Robert Moore of Sentinels.
I mean, yeah, the guy, Rob Moore is actually in the source. Yeah, the guy, he's got his fingers in every pie, so to speak. I mean, yeah, we saw Ambrosia in stage 3 of VCL, and they lost to TSM 2-0 in that group stage. So we're waiting to see some bigger results from them. That would be one of them, I think.
Let's see if Hikikomori can get a big result though, and win a second round with this very, very tragic bye. At least they did take the time out though. You know, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago or today, or is that how the
second best
goes?
time is now, right? Yeah.
Second best time is now, something like that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
These guys have 2 timeouts, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. 2. Still have 1 available. Maybe they win this round and take another timeout. I would do that. That would be the ultimate flex. Talk about ice in the kicker. Here we go. Okeanos. Blast back into the site. Arbo tucked here. Is clone. And is not clone. In fact, Brain does go down eventually, but Garpa gets involved here. Q was the ghost player and is hit by the paranoia. It's happening. Just the way we drew it up.
Unless
30 seconds.
B-Dog
On the pacifist run.
No.
Okay.
Yep, he is on the run to the free A site.
And that is going to be Barnbow joining him soon enough. A lot of this Cypher util though just burst over the A site, including a camera.
Yeah.
So.
That's what I was going to say. That cam could be quite a nuisance
10 seconds
later in the
left.
round. I mean, if they're going for that full 4v2 retake and they spot one player with the
Spike
cam
planted.
and ping them with it, the round should be good as done at that point, frankly.
It's pretty dirty for B-Dog. The angle he's taken inside heaven here. But he's heard all of this now. And he does have his Asper's util. Little suck. Garpa trying to get across. Yeah, trap wire, not an issue for B-Dog now. He needs to reposition somewhat. They're very much playing off the side. We do have a Bulldog and a Spectre here for the M80 players. Tough around the window. Let's see how... Oh, okay, never mind. Bow was low. B-Dog doesn't opt to go for the trade. Kaiser, though, sticks around. The defuse is happening while we talk about this. So Kaiser more than happy just to keep B-Dog busy and send him to an early grave. MORI get their second round. If you guys don't call a timeout now, I'd be really disappointed. That would be so shad.
I'd
I'd
love to see the timeout come through. Oh, they just stack the right site. Quick to fight on beat together. Pretty good retake as well. I do like how Kaiser played that delay, the distraction that you mentioned while the spike was being stuck by Ghost. Was worried for a second. The double heaven setup with the spike planted for M80 was a good decision, but Kaiser plays it well, locks it up. The slow climb back. Or at least, honestly, they'll probably just feel good if they win some more rounds and make it even a little bit of a closer game for their debut against one of the top teams.
From their perspective, probably the more rounds they get to play, the better here. They'll throw up mid. It's a hero rifle for Okeanos. Oh, God, there's a gap! Okay, Flash came in at just the right time. Brain just gets out there with the use of his own fragment. I like that. As B-Dog and Bao, last two players left, and only a Sheriff and Classic between them.
One enemy remaining.
It really was the ideal flash. Oki was so locked in on that little angle. 1 millisecond later, if that flash hadn't come through, definitely would have gotten the kill onto Garpa, but drops the hero rifle. And this one's over. Hakiki Mori, they're back.
Already in the game. Okeanos and Q down to 800 and 750 credits respectively, so the economy's a bit weird for M80.
They found my
Now you're not in a real hurry to end the round.
30 seconds left.
Spike obviously is in mid, so there's really no chance of Val recovering that and doing anything with the round. Flawless here for Hakiki Mori. Get themselves their third round on the board. Starting to build that economy now as well.
And honestly, they need to play with some whimsy. I'm going to say it. Play with some jolly fun. You know what I mean? In a game like this, when you're an underdog of this magnitude, you just take what you can get. Have a good time. That was a good mid-fight. Maybe get another round on the board. Win a little gun round, you know?
Okay, so we do have just some light arms on a couple of these M80 players. Outside of that, we've got plenty to work with. Arbo completely unbothered by that Teho U2 that flew over his left shoulder. But opts to pull out of mid.
Bustio spray to the game. That's interesting. Didn't know that.
I hope he gets a cut of the earnings from that. Arbo caught out. That's a fault line. Classic stuff. Now, Heaven Control. Solidly under the feet of M80. And that is a Armageddon. Oh, this is going to force Ghost out into the sunlight. Bam! Out of the town square. That is brutal.
And now 3v5 on the retake. Look at the positioning from M80. Bao's just chilling in mid. Should be able to catch the rotate. Does Kaiser check this? No, he doesn't. Just distracted, trying to get into Heaven too quickly.
All right, Brains has to flash himself in and go for it, but Bao just rips him a new one. Clearly unbothered. And there it is, folks. Split goes the way of M80, a 13-3 result. And like I said, a true baptism of fire for this Hakiki Mori roster, who've had the daylights beaten out of them, at least on this first map. But it's all important experience. Mr. River?
Yeah, it is important experience. You can't describe it any more accurately than baptism by fire. This M80 team, quality pickups to form this new roster. Weeded is looking fantastic at the moment. They were shooting. That wasn't even their map pick. We're going to Lotus next, which is... I'm excited to see more of what they've got in store for us. A little teaser of what we can expect from M80 in the future when they get a little bit further in the Swiss stage, play against some of the other top teams moving forward. But hey, so far so good.
Yeah, Lotus was a classic M80 map last year, albeit with a completely different roster. So I am interested to see what they have cooked up for us on that map. And
yeah, do they run no duelists again with like a Sage?
The triple
deadlock?
Sentinel?
Probably not, but
no, that was a classic though. Good times, good times. We'll be back after the break, folks, with a little bit more of this first series of the day. M80 so far look to be the stronger team. Can Hakiki Mori get back some rounds on Lotus? We'll find out.